LGBT community.
Hi, my name is Julia, and I'm going to explain the difference between gender identity and sexual orientation. Gender identity is basically the way you feel about yourself, feminine or masculine, or both, like gender fluids, or none of them. Currently, there are 31 gender identities according to the New York Commission of Human Rights. Sexual orientation is about what you feel affective sexual attracted for. For example, people who feel attracted to the same gender are homosexual, the opposite gender, heterosexual, and both bi or pansexual.
Hi, my name is Alicia, and I'm going to explain the history of the LGBT movement. So it was June 28, 1969, Stonewall, Greenwich Village, United States. The story begins in the early hours of the morning when gays, lesbians, and drag queens face police officers and start a rebellion that would lay the foundations for the LGBT rights movement in the United States and the whole world. The episode known as Stonewall Rebellion lasted 6 days and was a response to the arbitrary actions of the police. This episode is considered ground zero of the contemporary LGBT movement and is therefore celebrated worldwide on June 28, International LGBT Pride Day, a day to celebrate historic victories but also to remember that there is still a long way to go.
Hi, my name is Fabi and I'm going to talk about the importance of the LGBT movement. So, the LGBT movement is a civil and social movement that defends the acceptance of the LGBT people in society. Always facing prejudice, the LGBT movement acts in search of social equality by raising people's awareness against homophobia and by increasing the representation of LGBT people in the most diverse sectors of civil society.
LGBT phobia can be defined as rejection, prejudice, or basically decriminalizing a person based on their sexuality and gender identity. The suffix phobia indicates a lack of tolerance and aversion to something. The term LGBT phobia then refers to intolerance to LGBT population. Most complaints from the LGBT community are related to psychological violence. This category includes acts of threat, humiliation, and bullying. In June 2019, the STF decided to criminalize homophobia and transphobia, determining that the conduct should be punished by the racism law. It is a crime, therefore, to practice, induce, or incite discrimination or prejudice based on the sexual orientation of any person. The penalty can vary from 1 to 3 years, plus a fine, and can reach 5 years if the homophobic act is publicized in the media, such as social networks.
Thanks for watching.